When I worked over at Medley, for Planet Medley, we had my office was down this alleyway, and then there was this stairways that went up to the second floor, and then there was a door to go in, and there was one room, and then you had to go through that room, and then there was another door, and then it went into my office. So the front office when we first started the Planet Medley thing was for another salesman, and he sold mostly PA and that kind of stuff. He didn't sell the recording gear. And then in the second office, I went in there. I went in there, and that was where my gear was, and my office, and my computers, and all that kind of stuff. Eventually, the front office turned into my assistant's office, and it made a whole lot more sense then. But the one thing when I was working at Medley and I was doing all the sales that I was doing, it just seemed like everybody wanted to screw with me. And the guy that was in the front office when we had the Planet Medley offices, he always would do things that would just annoy me. And I always try to keep the environment very professional and try to keep a team effort and try to help as much as I could when I could help. But there are some people that just don't want to do good. They just want to work against you. And one of the things that really annoyed me about this one guy is he would always have his lunch right at his desk. So as soon as you walked in, you would see him eating his lunch, and then you would come to my office. And I told him we can't do that. And I talked to the owner, and the owner said, "Okay, I've allocated a space for like a lunchroom. So whenever you guys want to have lunch, you bring your lunch and go over there." And I thought that was a great idea. But no matter what accommodations we make, this guy that was working in the front office didn't want to do that. And to make matters worse, he would eat the worst things that it was just so smelly. He always would have like a tuna hoagie with onions. And the first time I walked in the office and he was eating, I said, you just can't do that. And he said, why? What's wrong? And he just was acting stupid. So I just said, just please don't do that anymore, because even once you're done eating, that odor is through here. Nobody wants to smell that while they're trying to, buy gear. And he did it to me about 2 or 3 more times, and I had to go talk to the owner. I just can't deal with this. You got to do something. And what happened is this guy that was there for all these years, he just kept pushing the envelope. The owner's like, "Look, George is making a lot of money for the company. You're barely making any money for the company, and all you're doing is aggravating George. So we're going to move your office someplace else and get George an assistant." And that's how that happened. So this story is more about keeping a professional atmosphere when you're trying to sell pro audio gear. And I think that's keeping a professional atmosphere when you're trying to do anything is a right thing to do. And having a lunchroom or going off site and having your lunch is the best thing to do. And this guy just did not want me to do well. And despite the big, I got things done and everything was fine, but he had to move.